Now then, after 30 years of writing, performing, touring, selling 65 million albums, earning 21 top 10 hits, there's no sign that Bryan Adams is going to be slowing down anytime soon. And this week, his latest album, Bare Bones, was released, which sees him performing some of his greatest hits, but this time acoustically, all on his own.
Please forgive me, know not what I do. Please forgive me, I can't stop loving you. Don't deny me this pain I'm going through. Please forgive me if I need you like I do. Oh, believe me, every word I say is true. Please forgive me, I can't stop loving you.
There you are. Please forgive me, Mr. Bryan Adams, and nothing to forgive you there, but you're down to your bare bones, Bryan.
Yeah.
And how bare are these bones?
Quite bare.
Yeah.
It's just me and my guitar. I have a accompanist, piano player comes out with me, and I play a bit of harmonica, and I've been touring like this for a couple of years. This CD that's just come out is something I made with the idea just to have at my shows. I wasn't really planning to make another big release, but my record company in the UK got wind of it and said, you know, we'd like to put this out. And next thing you know, it's coming out everywhere. So.
But that came from, I presume, a pressure or request from your fans.
An admiration, really.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people came to the shows and
yeah.
they said, you know, where can we hear this? You know, we don't have any copies of these songs like this. And so I thought, I'd make the CD. I went on my Twitter page and asked people what songs they wanted to hear, and
yeah.
that's how it sort of came together.
Yeah, and you put them together in this album, and
yeah.
One we'd like to play now. This is Heaven. We're gonna hear your interpretation of it.
I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. The love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see.
And do you know what this reminds me of?
Good job to remember the chords on that one.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Anyone who was doing this at home, anyone who had a few drinks and a few friends around and could strum a guitar, they would try to do it like this.
Yeah.
And it gives them great, and there's great silence. There's always great respect for somebody who can hold a room and do that. Do you find it's just different than being, I mean, there's obviously different adulation being a rock star, but there's a sort of respect comes with this.
It's tricky. Someone's got to do it.
Well, you know, all the songs are written with an acoustic guitar, and they have to, that's where they start from. And so doing this kind of show and presenting the songs this way is just really getting back to what I call the bare bones of, you know, how it was written, and the fact that they sort of stand up on their own. Even though many of them were thought of, you know, with the idea of putting a big band or orchestration behind them, you know, they stand up on their own.
But did you have to really brush up on your guitar?
Oh yes.
Because you're really laying yourself open there, aren't you?
Yeah, I have to, and I still do have to remember it, because I'm under the 4th chord now. It's not just 3 chords anymore. I have to, you know, always be on top of it on my own like that, because, you know, if you make a mistake with a band, you can always turn around with him. You know?
Yeah. Bryan, are you a Brit or are you a Canadian? I think your story's you're Canadian, but you live in London.
I live in London.
And your folks were English?
My parents are from England, yeah.
And how come you ended up in Canada?
Well, they emigrated back in the 50s, and I think it was my mum's love of butter. She couldn't get it here in England. So. And I was born there shortly afterwards.
And then you travelled around the world a bit?
Yeah, my parents were diplomats, and so we travelled quite extensively around the world, and then used to come back to England a lot for Christmases with the grandparents, and you know, I loved it, and so I moved back here. My father didn't want me to come back. He, you know, why are you moving back to that godforsaken place? You know? and then about 3 weeks later, after I got my apartment here, he was like, when can I come?
And you say it's interesting because you travelled around. I travelled around as a kid a lot with my dad in the army, and that made me a real homebird. I wanted to stay in one place. So do you still like travelling? Do you enjoy touring and being
touring.
on the road?
I tour all the time. I just finished my UK tour here. It was fantastic fun, and I'm going off to the States on the weekend. I do about 120 shows a year. I do basically a week a month.
Yeah.
Will this change the type of shows that you do now that you've released this album?
Well, what's great is I'm going off to the Middle East in December. I'm doing some shows down there, and one of them I'm going to be doing is the Bare Bones night. so I can break it up. I can still do my band,
Yes.
and I can still do a little bare bones as well.
But it must be very different, 'cause you normally a big rock show and it's
Yeah.
loud and
No,
noisy
it's
and everybody
great.
up on their feet. But this must be a lot quieter. Does that not unnerve you
You
slightly?
can do it sometimes, but it can be quite funny as well. I mean, for example, you could be just sitting there trying to figure out what you can do next, and you hear a bottle roll down the aisle.
Mm.
Well, you wouldn't hear that at a big show.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Or a mobile
I
phone
think that's
ringing.
quite funny.
Yeah, you have to build it in. When you were touring, of course, one of the things, you're a very accomplished photographer, you're very well rated. We'll see some examples of your work here.
Thanks.
But we actually are running a photographic competition at the moment, and we're getting people to send in all
And that's in
sorts.
it?
Let's take that.
Let's
No,
take that.
that's yours. That's yours.
It's not in the competition.
And we're getting people to pick up a camera and do things. What did you find? What was your release through a camera? How did you see the world different today?
I just enjoy working with people, and I really enjoy the idea of trying to capture something interesting with different. And I meet lots of interesting people. So
Yeah.
there's Amy, and I mean, there's lots of. It's a fun thing to do.
Do you get nervous when you're photographing celebrities? And...
Well, sometimes, but maybe beforehand more so than when you get to chat with people. Everyone's pretty straightforward. I guess the thing is never force people to do things they don't want to do. You know.
Now, we have to say at this stage, Bryan and I are of the same age. I know a lot of you will find that absolutely amazing.
63. You don't look it. You don't look 63.
I had a much rougher life,
Cheers, Ryan. Thanks
obviously,
a lot.
than you had. He's 51 today, and we've got a cake for you here,
Yeah.
so look at
That's
this.
so sweet.
Not
Wow.
just any old cake. Look at that.
That's a monster
Like a
cake.
guitar.
That's a
What we're
guitar
gonna do after
cake.
this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, not at all. I wouldn't put my
Thank you.
hand
Happy
over it.
birthday.
Oh, that's so
Lovely
sweet.
to see
I
you.
might have to blow that out.
I don't know if you
don't
can,
think that's
actually,
wise.
but
Forget
we
it.
just wanted to show you that it is a guitar.
Wow.
So your acoustic, your new
Thank you.
acoustic life.
That's great.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Down to the bare bones.
Hey, and happy birthday to you,
We'll
Eamon.
put some meat in those bones with that cake. Thank you very much
Thanks.
indeed, mate.
That's
Thank you
amazing.
very much
Thank you,
indeed.
everyone. That's really sweet.
We will say goodbye to you. Don't forget, this morning, Saturday, 11:30 tomorrow, and then it's on again on Sunday, and on Monday, Holly and Philip have got who was going to lead the X Factor.
X Factor, yeah, and they've got Michael Bolton on as well. So have a terrific weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Enjoy your fireworks.
Bonfire night,
Happy
yeah.
birthday, everybody else.
Oh,
out
it's
there.
gone. Happy birthday.
Yeah.